safeguarding. If we take the ethics and the practice principles seriously, then the safeguarding policy should not really have to be something that is necessary. But it's important that it's there, because if any of those ethics are not upheld and people don't treat each other equally, then there will be incidences where diversity on all levels are not respected. So the safeguarding policy is if that you feel unsafe based not just on the protected characteristics, but on the full range of many areas of diversity, which I've mentioned in the policy. If you feel that there has been an incident where you've just felt there was something off, and then you can relate it back to what I've written, then it's important to fill in the incident form and the concern for safety and the safety again. And safety again, we all have different definitions of safety, but safety being that it can be physically, emotionally not safe, or it could be something subtle like safety is also being able to connect as an individual and have agency within a group. And it's also being treated equally to someone else, regardless how long they've been there or what they do or their background, their age, position, etc. Again, this is like the full body of the meaning of what diversity is and significantly where it's placed. So what happens when you fill in an incident form or consent form, a safeguarding concern? It's the same form, but both are to relate to your circumstances. It's either an incident or it's a concern. It's the same form. So what happens is there is a procedure which people who have senior managerial responsibilities will need to do on their end and must follow through with. But what's important for the person who is of a concern and that they are potentially at risk or say unsafe means, put it that way, is that they have a protection plan in place and that they have an advocate or someone by their side who's neutral in the situation, who can walk with them through the process. Because doing that by yourself in a group situation, as you can imagine, is pretty distressing in itself, especially if you've already been at the receiving end of something that's unpleasant. Before things get to that point, they can be prevented. I think we need to start thinking about community ethics more broadly and in depth, because essentially that's how interactions are played out and how there's more possibility for development in a way that is multidimensional. And that's where the diversity takes shape. It's not something that is orchestrated or even organized. It's just a consideration of where we are now and just noticing, like the DOV photography exercise, just noticing what's going on through our bodies and what we are seeing essentially. And then taking action. Is taking action from a reflective place, somewhere that is more concrete and grounded and attached to this idea that it's the interactions that happen every day that forms a concept of community that is flexible enough to be accessible to everybody.